So October Red Boxing, Abs, I'm here with Anthony Manning.
Yes.
Thank you so much for letting me come into your gym today. I've had some serious fun in here.
Yeah.
We're going back to the beginning. You were a fighter.
Yeah.
Before all of this was born. Talk to us about your career and how we've ended up here.
I think it started when I was about 20 years old. I walked into a boxing gym and I got the bug. And then from then I competed at an amateur boxing fight and a few others after that. And then I turned professional with MTK, and then I went back to Eastside, had fights and whatnot. I think I had 8 as a pro. And then it's in the difference on my brain scan. So I wasn't able to box. The Boxing Board of Control wouldn't reissue my licence. So I had to think about a plan B, which for me always felt like plan A, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the difference in the brain scan then, because you know, we're seeing fighters pass away in the ring. We saw it the other day, there was a young Mexican female. Obviously the testing and everything's going to be different out there, but unfortunately she didn't make it. There was obviously some underlying brain injury there. I think she'd suffered a KO previously, went straight back in, and this time it was fatal. When you talk about difference in the brain scan then, what happened with yours?
Oh, they said that the cortisol in my brain, the gap had widened. And they said that if I was to continue to box, it can cause more long-term memory loss and damage, brain damage and things like that. So I'm not a scientist. I just hear their information and obviously just thought proceed with caution in it, because obviously I've got a life to live outside of boxing. Even though boxing saved my life, it is my life, but I still have a life outside of boxing. Yeah.
And we talk about that then. So you said what you're doing now was always the plan A. Talk us through it.
I just feel like purpose in it. I feel purpose. I feel like I've always been born to do things, and I've always done things outside the box, and I've always been on to the next one, and I've always been a go-getter, and I've always been somebody who people benefit off being around, because I uplift people that I'm around to an extent. So I felt like, with that being said, with what I've visually seen myself in Birmingham and around Birmingham, I kind of thought that it's my time now. Do you know what I'm saying? I just seen what I've seen, and I thought I've seen enough. And it was just, like you say, timing just happened at the perfect time, because I was like, now I'm going to go get it, and I'm going to get it with the same ambition I was chasing my boxing career. So I'm chasing it with, like, I'm determined, very determined to be somebody, yeah.
So the idea then, how did it come about? Because this is like almost like a state-of-the-art training facility. Like I said, I'm embarrassed to know that I'm a fellow Brummie and I didn't even know it was here. Well, how did that idea come about to say, okay, I'm going to set up this state-of-the-art like boxing training facility? It's tailor-made for boxing. Where did that come from?
I think it all boils down to my experience of being a professional myself, because obviously I was a sponsored pro. I was able to do everything that I needed to, what all the other pros are doing. I never worked, I was paid athlete. I was able to do testing and other sorts of training abroad and physio and all this kind of stuff. And I kind of put it all into one as a one-stop shop, and I thought, why has boxing been going so long, especially in Birmingham, and no one's thought of an idea to kind of collaborate everything together, and look at it more as a you know, like a business and services that they offer, not just I train a lad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just one specific area of training.
Yeah, because that lad can only go so far then, because you just train a lad. Do you know what I mean? So if he's got this, you've seen how we worked here today. You know, it's like an organisation. You know, one man's recovering, next man's downstairs doing his session, the other man's improving his range for his fight that he's got coming up. So you know, it's a full circle. It's not just one come in, hit the pads, go home. It's a proper facilities, yeah.
So how long has this been set up?
I set it up in September, so a year now. It's been a year, September. But it took me about 16 months to renovate it because the place was derelict.
Yeah.
So all in all, you look at the year that we've had the doors open with a little interference with COVID, and then and then obviously the 16 months it took me to set it up. So them two together, and we're here now. We're getting the top pros coming down, and a load of amateur lads travelling just because they've got preparation to do for the championships coming up. I feel like a lot of them want to give it, not the last shot, but they want to give it 100% now because of the pandemic, of them not being able to do any behind the closed door shows or anything like that. They're all just like anticipating what's going to happen from now.
And what I've noticed as well, it's something that I want to talk about, is a lot of the fighters that have been in here. I mean, today we had somebody from London. Obviously, we've got a Thai up north as well. Anthony Yard, Isaac Chamberlain, Florian Marku, Linus Udolfa. There's people in here that are travelling from outside of Birmingham to get here, and we've got like boxers in Birmingham. I mean, who are your Birmingham fighters?
Well, to be honest with you, Birmingham's not really had the support in itself. Birmingham have got fighters, but there's not a standout fighter in Birmingham who can sell out an arena. There's not a standout role model in Birmingham either. There are fighters, I do understand what you're saying,
yeah.
But I'm saying to you that Birmingham's never really had that support. From what I've seen since I've been in boxing,
yeah.
I think the latest was like the Matthew Macklins and maybe the Frankie Gavin. But other than that, I think there's yet to someone to come and take it who can be the main event and then have the whole undercard and the TV channels wanting to come and support them. So in regards to why people are travelling, they're travelling because it's a world-class training camp, and also because of all the services under one roof. They're also travelling for credit for myself, and then the people in Birmingham. I think that maybe they're not allowed to. Maybe they're not allowed to come.
What?
Maybe they're not allowed to come. That's how I feel. Maybe they're not allowed to come. If we're honestly speaking, maybe they feel tied up or committed or in their feelings or emotionally attached. However it may be pronounced, obviously I might have missed the word out. Maybe they're not allowed to come. That's how I sit there and think when I actually do think it, because I don't. There's good and bad in everything.
Yeah, 100%. It's that balance.
So I look for the balance all the time. So like I say, Birmingham people, maybe they're not allowed to come. But what I would like to say is, on that subject is, if you're a self-employed businessman,
yeah,
you go where the work is.
Okay.
And as a fighter, you're a self-employed businessman and a brand, and you go what's best for yourself. And I don't ask you to change your team. I don't ask you to, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But I definitely, if you spot something, if you see something, add to your team, because there's nothing wrong with adding, because it's growth and all the rest of it as well. And I definitely think that we're an asset to anyone's training camp. Anyone in the Midlands, anyone in the UK, we can help.
So when you say that then, say for example there's a fighter and he's already got, say, an S&C coach, but he wants to use this space because of the facilities that are here. Is that something that you accommodate as well? Or is it solely that the fighters come to you and they're trained by yourselves or your personnel and that's it?
No, our gym's a hotel, so you can book it and you can stay here for however long you want. So if your trainers want to contact me, they can contact me and they can use the facilities, and we'll make sure everything's in working order for them. And they've got a clean space to work out of as well. All we ask for is the space to be respected, and obviously if there's any damage, then you have to cover the cost.
Yeah.
So it's not that you need to come here and train with Anthony Manning. You can come here and use Mannings gym and just be a part of the training camp, and just appreciate, it's the best place in the Midlands to be. So
walk us through then your gym, your facility, and what services that you've got here.
Yeah, so we got the boxing exercises, we got the monitored sparring from the CCTV, we got the hyperbaric chamber, we got the true cryo, so that's the cryotherapy. We also have the physiotherapist, the nutritionist, the meal prep, we have the accommodation, the private chauffeur, the media team, the altitude training, the VO2 testing. Yeah, we kind of just
Wow.
covering like everything, and we're still growing actually. Like bearing in mind we only started up a year ago, so I'm always looking, and I ask every fighter that comes through the door, what is it that you want me to get? What is it that you feel's missing? What have you got any feedback for me, so I can move forward? And they say that we couldn't want, this is our like playground, and we couldn't want for much more. So we're already pleasing, but I'm my own worst critic, so I always want to do better. I always want more. I haven't finished. I've only just started. I haven't achieved anything. I'm just growing every day, just trying to move forward, innit?
One of the things that I like what you say is, if somebody comes in, you'll ask them for feedback. So you're always looking to improve.
Yeah.
You're always looking for innovation. Okay, what can I do better? Which is a good way, because sometimes people are sort of like, it's my way or the highway. These are the rules. If you don't like them, get out. And sometimes people can stay in life, never mind in boxing, people can stay stagnant. But what you're doing here is you're being innovative and forward thinking and saying, okay, this is what we've got, but we're also open for improvements. We need your ideas. You're the fighters. You're coming in here. You're training. Is there anything else that we can do? And that customer-based focus mindset is obviously why we're here today, and why people are travelling from far and wide to get here.
Yeah, because it's not just like, it's not just Instagram. It's not the social media. You know, you can speak to everyone that's been down here will say, it's a world-class facilities. I'm a top guy, and the customer services is 10/10. You can't ask for much more. So a happy fighter again is a dangerous fighter. So we look forward to working with everyone. I'm just looking forward to all the younger lads that are coming through now as well, in Birmingham based, that have started to realise that we're the closest set up to GB. And obviously if they have got aims and aspirations to go on to GB, then obviously to work with someone like myself is good prep. And obviously when they turn professional, obviously to bear in mind that I'm also a professional trainer as well. So we can also talk at that level as well, but until then, while they're chasing their dreams and aspirations and stuff, boxing for the Olympics, to get prepped for that kind of facilities, for that kind of gym that they're going to be going in and being assessed on and stuff like that.
So ideally, I know you've had a few names in here that we've mentioned earlier, but is there a fighter out there, and we're talking about internationally, that you'd really like to get your hands on and work with them to get them to peak that, well, get them to the really good fitness levels that you like to train?
Are we talking about like I'm professional in this?
Yeah.
Pro. Nah, I haven't got nobody that I look at like that. You know, I just see everybody as on the different journeys as they're on their journey in it. So if they come here and they'd give me where they're at their journey, then we could elaborate on it at that point. But until then, everybody's just doing what they're doing and I'm doing what I'm doing. So I can't focus on anybody else. I do look for things in a fighter, but I don't look to be on anyone else's journey. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to be on my own, and what will come, and what isn't meant to come.
So moving forward, what can we expect to see? I mean, I am in awe of what I've seen already. But you seem to me to have like quite a progressive attitude in anything that you do, and you're not going to stop. I sense there's something, not greed, but you seem to like you always want more. So moving forward then, what's in store for Mannings as in relation to expansion, possible franchise? Not putting words in your mouth though, but
yeah, we already planned to expand. Obviously next door is already on the cards. We've already like outgrown the place. Because obviously I've got no more space for anything, so to my knowledge I need to move forward, and I need more space to be able to create more ideas. So obviously that would probably be the first step, and then just to bring Birmingham boxing properly. I think there's a conveyor belt, and everyone has their day, don't they? And I'm hoping that the next couple of years are my days, and where obviously I can have an impact on Birmingham boxing, and and the lads that are in it, and bring my kind of creativity into what I'm doing. That would be the first point of call without announcing what I'm doing next.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
I won't dig too much then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm in awe of the place. You know, I came in here, I saw, you know, one guy having a massage, another one in an oxygen chamber, another one being trained downstairs, and you are multitasking. This is you doing all of this, like monitoring it, making sure everything's all right. Obviously, you've got a team working with you as well. But it's, like I said, it's just something that hasn't been seen, and that's why I want our viewers to have a look at this place. Have a look at it on Instagram. If you know, if they're aspiring boxers, doesn't matter, like you said, whether they're amateurs, because the conveyor belt mentality. You're looking for the ones that are coming through as well. It's not just the ones that are there. Yeah, it's the ones that are coming through, the world champions to be.
I respect everyone with the same mentality. We're all champions in real life. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't wait for a bout to define and say, oh, because he's a WBC, he's the champion. I understand that obviously he's been working longer than the other one, so he's in a different position. I understand that, but everybody's a champion in real life. You've just got to tap into that mentality. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm looking to work with amateurs, pros, GB, anybody it may be. I'm looking to work with them all just because I love boxing. And like when people say boxing is life, for some people it is, and for some people it isn't. But I've been living boxing for the last 12, 11 years or something like that now. And day in, day out I study, every day I train, every other day I train somebody. So I've just been doing the same thing for years, and it's become me. It's who I am. So I can't not do what I'm doing. And from then, I also believe that the passion, like, speaks for itself, and like he says, with intent or greedy. That's not how I
it's like driven.
Yeah,
it's like you're driven.
Yeah, I'm just driven. Yeah, and I know where I'm going as well. It's self-belief as well, because I don't need somebody to tell me that's what I'm going to be doing or where I'm going. I know I'm going next. I've visualised it. I've seen it. I believe it. I don't just think, oh, one day I hope I can get some. I'm going to where I'm going. There's no question about it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I like it though, because like I said, you know, you could have like given up boxing and says, oh, later, I can't box.
Yeah.
You know, forget everybody else. But like you said, this is what you wanted to do. You even said this was more or less the plan A.
Yeah, I do feel that way. Yeah, I do feel like the purpose actually found itself. I had a feeling as well, because I started boxing late. I didn't have a solid team around me. I wasn't backed by no big promoter. I didn't see myself, you know, ruling the world in boxing. I see myself being a participant in boxing, but I'm not here to participate in anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was always the dominant space. Do you know what I mean? The leaders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, it was always that kind of, okay, well, let me get you somewhere where you can lead instead of you're not waiting for people.
Nah, I get it. It's the conduit. Boxing, actual boxing was the conduit to get you to this stage.
Yeah.
Boxing was the plug.
Yeah.
This is where you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
That happens a lot with all sorts of things. It's like you'll meet someone, but it's not them that's the purpose. It's who they introduce you to. And it's like, you know, they may be no use, they may be no good, but they've introduced you to something else. And that's the kind of same thing that's happened with you, with your boxing career. It wasn't going to work out medical-wise, but it catapulted you into this. And this is where you were supposed to be anyway.
And that's why I smile every day.
Yeah.
I smile every day because of that analogy what we've just used, because 100% when people ask if you're winning, or people ask if you're doing well, or people ask how's it going, all I can do is smile, because life is good. Because like, I'm a God-fearing man, and you know, what God wants to be will be in it, and that's how it's happening at the moment. So how can I not smile?
Anthony, you're an absolute, honestly, you're an absolute inspiration. Anybody that watches this, you're going to have to, well, they will be taking some inspiration from it. Like I said, you've proven that there's more to boxing. Yeah, you're now helping fighters become better versions of themselves, getting them fit. We've seen it all today. You're an absolute credit. Fellow Brummy, fully proud to actually come and sit in here and speak with you today. Do you know what I mean? Is there anything else that you want to say before we...
Not really, you know.
just
I
want me to get out of the
appreciate.
gym?
Not even. You know, I appreciate you coming down. I look forward to seeing you in the future. Not only that, as well, you're always welcome to come down and cover some of the footage that we have going on in here. I do think that Birmingham people should work with like-minded people and grow together, because team, everyone achieves more. So we're always happy to have you over here, and
Thank you.
I hope that your viewers and the people in Birmingham who see this obviously take note that we are here, and we're not going anywhere for now. And,
1, 2, 1.
And we should all stick together, and it's only right. At the end of the day, it is only right, because there's good things going on. There's a buzz here, and like you say, 1, 2, 1, support your own. And
Absolutely.
if not, then it is what it is, isn't it?
Your loss.
Follow us at Mannings Gym.
Yep.
And we can update you with our progress on that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. October Red Boxing here with Anthony Mannings from Mannings Gym. Stay ready.
Always.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.